Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Been a minute, late pause on that. My bad, fellas. What is going down? It is your boy, Marley Bets, back in the building with another NFL preview. We got Championship Sunday going down. I'm in the building with the homie Plus from Official No Cap Bets. He joined us for Wild Card Weekend. I had a terrible, because we haven't been back since we done the show, and I gotta, hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
Terrible wild card weekend. It was the worst weekend probably of the year. Definitely of the year. I don't want to say of my NFL betting career, but it's up there. It definitely ranks in the top 3. I had an offer, but I bounced back in the divisional round. I took we'll go our divisional plays too. I took Philly team total over first half 13. I was a casher, but I lost on the Giants plus the 8 points. Figured Philly would win, but I thought the game would be a lot tighter than what it was based off how the Giants were playing. But and with the layoff with Philly and the way they came into the playoffs, they weren't playing that well. Jalen Hurts was kind of banged up. So I thought the 8 points were good, but so I went 1-1 there. And then on San Fran, I took team total San Fran first half over. No, I didn't. I'm lying on that. I'm sorry. I took San Fran on the money line, and then I took the under. It was 40. Yeah, I can't remember what the under was, but I hit the under. So I went like 3-1 over the divisional weekend. How about yourself, Plus? How you did, man?
I was definitely on that Giants in the divisional. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about the wild card weekend because I had no idea the Minnesota Vikings would not show up the way that they did. That was wild to me. I don't know what Kirk Cousins is thinking on a 4th and 6, throwing it a yard and a half.
I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah,
taking Kirk Cousins in a big time game.
Yeah,
but go ahead. I digress.
No, you're right. And you know what? I did say on our last episode, like the dude has trash numbers. Anytime after 1 p.m., he was like 11. He's only covered the spread 11 times out of like 50. So yeah, we were a mess with that. I did actually even say that this was a nightmare matchup for the Vikings. Like they did not want to see a defense as hungry as this one. What else happened wild card weekend? It was just crazy.
That's
yeah. Let's just talk about the greatest comeback of all time. Essentially, everybody got fired. Everybody got fired over there in LA, boy.
So, because I was pissed. I just knew that shit was in the bag. Knew it, and I watched the collapse live, and like I felt it too. Like first half, I was feeling so good. Like, oh yeah, we're in the bag.
Yeah.
And then after halftime, the Chargers got the ball first. They stopped them, and I was like, all right, we're cool. They got the stop. That's fine. But when they went down the field and scored, I knew we were in trouble. I didn't think they would come back and do it the way they did, but I just knew we were in trouble. I was like, they're not going to be able to stop them. I didn't think the offense would just like completely collapse and not do anything but give us 3 points. But yeah.
We've seen some terrible coaching this entire NFL season, starting with Nathaniel Hackett over there at the Denver Broncos. Couldn't cook nothing with Russ. Basically left Russ with no ingredients whatsoever. He just got a job, actually. He's an OC somewhere. Yeah.
With the Jets.
I didn't even think that they were hurting that bad for offense. In fact, they had like a rookie guy out. Their rookie running back, he was balling out. I think his name's Bryce something.
Yeah, Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall.
Yeah, he's balling out. I didn't think they needed help offensively, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But
I think they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers. You know, Nathaniel Hackett is his boy. So I think I think they're trying to take a shot at Aaron Rodgers. They need a quarterback very badly. So I don't know what they're going to do, but.
And you nailed it with the divisional, man. Shout out to Brian Daboll. Like I said, I felt like he was the most experienced rookie head coach I'd ever seen in a long time. He's got Belichick background. He's got Saban background. He was over there helping Josh Allen. And I thought the defensive coordinator Wink from the Ravens, like I really thought that I think that they're a next year team, the Giants. I don't think that they were ready for the Eagles. Beating the Vikings is a little bit of an emotional. So I think that there was room for a letdown spot. And I just personally didn't see it. So I was on the Giants. Like I said, I knew that they would get beat, but I didn't know that they would get beat that bad, that early. Like it just got way out of control. Right. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I stand on what I said. Dak Prescott still sucks. I told everybody, they're probably going to try to get at me. I'm glad we skipped a week. You know what I'm saying? Because he was gassed up off of that Tampa Bay performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just beat Tampa Bay. You didn't beat nobody, bro.
Right. Everybody was caught up in the whole Brady thing. And I think myself, I don't want to say I was caught. Yeah, you know what? I'll put myself in that, myself included, in the whole. Didn't really look at the overall picture of how necessarily Tampa had been playing all season. We knew they weren't really a good team, but we kind of ignored all the or at least I did ignore all what this year's numbers said and based everything or most things off of. We know the Dallas Cowboys are accident waiting to happen. We know Tom Brady is Mr. Clutch in the playoffs, and we kind of overlooked their deficiencies that they had, which they showed us all season. They really weren't a good football team. You know, they won a trash ass division and couldn't do anything on offense. So, you know, mistake on my part. You know, I followed that one, but like you said, the Cowboys are who we thought they were. They showed us.
Yeah, I mean, a little gassed up over beating a mediocre Buck team. Speaking of getting slept on or just completely overlooked or just ignored, that boy Joe Burrow, man.
I be just gonna say that. That's the other game I was on. I was in the divisional round. I was on the Bengals plus the 5.5, and I was on Bengals team. Oh, I killed that game. I was on Bengals team total over 10, I believe, first half. And when they went up 14-3, I jumped on the Bills first half plus 10.5. Caught that late touchdown. So I was all over that Bengals game.
Hey, that one was one. And surprisingly, like the AFC North for me, that's like my favorite conference. You know, I love the gritty chess match football, the low scores. Like, I don't need a lot of flashy touchdowns. AFC North's where it's at. You got Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, you know, but Joe Burrow, he will air it out. He'll give you 450 if you sleep on him. Like, he is that kind of guy. I call him Joe Burial because he puts these guys to sleep, man. You know, and I did not think it just made sense though when you think about it. The Bills had so much to play for. They're Super Bowl favorites. The emotion with Damar Hamlin, all the things that tell you take the Bills is the reason why you got to take the Bengals. And I missed that one. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt like I was just gonna get it done.
I was all over Cool Joe on that one. Speaking of Mr. Cool Joe, let's jump into divisional. I actually don't want to do that game first. I actually want to start here. Let's start here. Let's start with the 49ers and the Eagles. Championship Sunday. We got the line still. Let me make sure that's the current line that I have right now because those lines were put in earlier. I just want to double check real quick.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yep, I'm still looking at a 2.5, and I'm still looking at 46.5 as the total. All right, we got the 49ers going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of actual factuals real quick. The line is at 2.5, as I just stated earlier. The total is at 46. Start with San Francisco's actual factuals. They are probably the hottest team in football in the NFL right now, if not the hottest NFL team right now. They're 9-1 ATS in their last 10 games.
Come on.
10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games when on the road. However, 2-8 ATS in their last 10 games against Philadelphia. 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games against Philadelphia. But 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games when playing on the road in Philly. 9-0 ATS on the last 9 games against an opponent from the NFC conference. Totals have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. Let's look at Philly. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games, but 15-3 straight up in the last 18. 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games, 10-3 straight up in the last 13 games against an opponent from the NFC conference, 7-2 ATS in the last 9 games on Sunday at the crib. Their totals under in 9 of the last 10 games played in the month of January, under in 6 of the last 8 games against an opponent from the NFC West division, and also under in 4 of their last 5 games. Mr. Plus, Mr. 100, Mr. No Cap Bets.
Yes, sir.
Going to the Super Bowl representing the NFC. We got the Niners.
Well, listen, and you know what? I want to give all respect to the Philadelphia Eagles when I say this, because they don't have no Dak. Jalen Hurts is a baller. I think the dude can squat like 800 pounds. I don't know if you've seen that. You know what I'm saying? But this San Francisco team is just too deadly. Like, when I mean deadly like a which way you want it. Swiss Army knife. You know what I'm saying? You got Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? He's got the nickname Big Paws Brock. You know, the paws, they calling them, you know, they talk about the size of his cojones and stuff like that. You've got Deebo Samuel. You got McCaffrey, who pretty much they haven't lost since they got him. They haven't lost since they had Purdy as a starter. I said Samuel. We got George Kittle. And then when I look at like some of the quarterbacks they've already faced in the league already, I mean, they made pretty much light work out of everybody except for Mahomes, you know? So I'm looking at what they did against the Chargers. They won that 22-16. They held Herbert down. They went up against Miami. I can't say Tua start. I'm pretty sure Tua started that game. They won that 33-17. They went up against Brady. They got him 35-7. They went up against the Commanders, who the Eagles have problems with. We'll touch on that in a little bit. 37-20. And just made it look good to end the season against they basically beat everybody they're supposed to. The NFC West is not, they don't stand a chance against the Niners. Like you said, winners of 10 in a row, winners of 12 in a row. The only thing that I would say is a risk is that I haven't seen them perform as well as they do on the road, the way that they do at home. So this will be a tough, hostile crowd. But if you ask me, they're all for it. I actually saw a clip the other day of Purdy up against Jalen Hurts back in the Big 12 when he was playing over there at Iowa State.
Iowa
State versus Oklahoma. Go back and watch that game. Purdy does not back down. Oklahoma was the clear favorite in that game, and Purdy got his squad back. I don't know. I think they were down like 2 touchdowns. Got him back. They missed the 2-pointer that would have took it to OT. Revenge is on the brain for Brock Purdy, and he's got some reinforcements that are pretty much unstoppable. We got to take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They had 70 sacks on the season. They look unstoppable the way they dealt with the Giants, but these are not the Giants. The Giants didn't have the type of offense that the Niners do. You're not just going to manhandle these guys. And I've been thinking this for quite some time, whether it was going to be the Cowboys that advanced or the 49ers. The Eagles are due for a bad game at some point. I thought it was going to be last game with Jalen Hurts and the whole shoulder thing. But when I take a look, the San Francisco 49ers, 12-2 against the spread against the entire NFC. That means they're not talking to nobody until they get to that Super Bowl. Nobody's touching them. You said it. You said it best, Marley. This is the hottest team in the league right now. They picked up steam right at the right time. It's got to be San Francisco plus 2.5 and money line.
All right, plus the 2.5. But you feel like money line, they're going to win the game. Period.
Yeah, it's whatever it is on the money line.
All right.
Put it down on the plus, boy.
Okay. All right. I almost agree with everything you said. Right? Almost. I'm almost right there with you, but I'm not all the way there. And you know what? when they made the McCaffrey trade, I told one of my guys, I'm in a pool league. I shoot pool. I'm in a pool league on Mondays. I told one of my guys, big Philadelphia friend, dudes from East Coast, but I don't think anyway. I remember saying this to him. Oh, it's gonna be Philly and San Fran in the NFC Championship. Once soon as they make that trade, boom, I was like, that's the missing piece. That's what they need. And here we are. Nor in my wildest dream that I envisioned Brock Purdy would be the quarterback. I thought that would be Jimmy Garoppolo. And don't get me wrong, Brock Purdy has played amazing, right? He's done everything that you can ask of a backup and or third string quarterback, and more. But I went back and I looked at those 10 games because he's on a 10-game win streak, right?
Yep.
I went back and looked at those 10 games. They played Arizona twice.
Yep.
They played Seattle. They played Las Vegas. They played Washington. They actually played Seattle twice. They played Tampa, who we just talked about. And then they played Miami, as you said. I think Tua did. I can't really remember if Tua played that game or not. I think he did not, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But Philly has, I agree with you, right? Defensive in San Francisco is top notch. And I'm a big, huge, when I tell you huge, D'Amico Ryans fan. I remember in high school watching this cat at Alabama play linebacker, the position that I played, and he was one of my favorite linebackers. And he came to Houston for a little while, played in Houston. I'm a huge D'Amico Ryans fan. I love the job he's doing, especially if you go look at the 49ers in the second half of stats. Like, once he goes into the locker room and they figure out they're trying to do this, we make our adjustments, boom, boom, boom. They are like the best, and that let me know it's coaching. It's not just talent. Yes, you have to have talent in the NFL. Everybody has talent, but when you go in the second half and you dissect shit and break it down and then shut out a team, like, that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to them. But the Eagles have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in football right now. And I personally think if that line can hold up against Bosa and company, the weakness on San Francisco is their passing defense. As great as Greenwood and I can't think of the other linebacker's name right now. Is it Greenwood? Not Greenwood. Warner. Excuse me. Warner. Is Warner is their cornerbacks and safeties. I think outside of Ward, maybe, is not really the best, and they struggle with bigger receivers. We saw what DK was able to do,
right?
And then you got AJ Brown on the outside, who's a similar. They're similar. They're both big physical receivers that can run. I like Philly first half. On the money line, they're the highest scoring team in the second quarter. They're normally ahead in the first half. I personally think the game is a toss-up. I do like Philly at home to win, but what scares me is I can see Philly going in with a small lead. D'Amico coming in, making those adjustments that they do and shut that offense down. I don't know how significant the lead will be. I'm not sure if Brock Purdy is ready to go on the road and win a championship game. Like, that shit just takes time. That's just how it works in the NFL. It's very rare that you get a rookie that's just going to go all the way to the Super Bowl and win. I don't know if it's ever happened. It wasn't Tom Brady's rookie year. So, like, at some point, the defenses are going to confuse this kid. That's just how it works in the NFL. And I look at the defenses that they've played outside of Dallas, in which he struggled. I think if Dak doesn't throw fucking 2 interceptions, they might very well win that game, because it's not like the offense scored a bunch of points. 6 of those points came off turnovers.
Right.
So I'm not super confident in Brock Purdy that he's ready to go on the road and face a Philadelphia team led by what a lot of people think may have been the MVP of the league in Jalen Hurts. And that offense is explosive. I know 49er defense is good, but I think the offensive line, if they can hold up, give Jalen Hurts enough time, I think they have the receivers that can beat 49ers secondary. I like them early, though, on the first half, and I'll take the money line.
Hey, I think, just to go back to the rookie comment, I think Ben Roethlisberger is probably like the last rookie to take his team to the Super Bowl. When
Was
he
he a
had the
rookie that year?
bus.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah,
He had
yeah,
a
yeah,
bus
yeah.
one.
He
Yeah,
probably the
yeah.
last one to do it though.
And that had to be like what 2000, early 2000s.
I was gonna say 4,
Yeah, I'm thinking.
5,
I
something
was
like
gonna say
that.
5, but yeah, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around in that time frame.
Talking about 2 decades basically, and we haven't seen it.
Right. So that scares me. I mean, like you said, you named all the weapons on the offensive side of the ball. You got Debo, you got McCaffrey, who has a calf injury, by the way. You got McCaffrey, you got Ayuk, you got, I think I said Debo.
Ayuk.
You got Kittles. You got weapons, and you got Shanahan, who is known as a great play caller in this league, offensive coordinator. So, but he's a fucking rookie.
Marley, but this is where coaching comes in, and you got a defensive, type of a mind, right, going into this. So let me just pose this question to you: if you take insert any quarterback here, but whatever, serviceable quarterback, doesn't matter who it is, but if you take that personnel, Ayuk, Kittle, Samuel, McCaffrey, you spread them out, wouldn't that create a mismatch for like a D line that kind of just wants to throw the house at you? Like they want to stack the box. They want to get you in the backfield, right? But if you spread them out 4 wide, all get little dink dunks, whatever, doesn't that disrupt a defensive scheme?
Yeah, but that's not what San Fran does, because in order to do that, you have to have a quarterback that can read the defense and find those mismatches and dissect what's going on very quickly. I'm not saying Brock Purdy can't do that, but like I said, San Francisco is a physical team. They want to run the ball, pound you, play action to Kittles. Everything looks the same, and then we reverse it with Debo.
Right.
So it's not like that's more of a Tom Brady. We'll spread you out and we'll let Tom Brady sit back, survey the defense, and he's going to figure out what you're in because he's seen it 1,000 fucking times. You can't really run nothing that he hasn't seen. Whereas, Brock Purdy, in my opinion, which I'm pretty sure it has to be, is what everybody's trying to do, but they can't stop the run. Dallas did a great job, though. They should have won that game. It's all on the offense. I feel like they held them to San Francisco scored 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
They scored 7 points. Dak threw 2 interceptions, I believe. I know one was in San Francisco's. They were backed up on their 20. I can't remember necessarily the other one. He should have threw 3. They dropped 1. So I just don't see. The thing about Jalen Hurts is he hasn't turned the ball. I think he's only thrown 3 interceptions all season.
Right.
With 30 touchdowns. I just don't. If he's not turning the ball over and they're moving the ball, if he scores 2 touchdowns, or even can they score? Can they match that? If he scores 3, if they score 21, can he match? Can Brock Purdy match that on the road? That's my concern.
You don't want Jalen Hurts on the field. I think you got to play a time of possession game. Like if I got to back this Niners lock, it's going to be like keep Jalen Hurts off the field. You don't want him extending plays, getting his legs into it, giving us little 7-yard runs and then little dink and ducks, then airing it out. Like you do not want this offense to get any type of rhythm. You want to get those big guys, those 70 sack guys, you want to tire them out. 80-yard drives, 10 minutes apiece. And Brock Purdy's he's gonna have to pull that off with all the personnel that he has. And I'm saying he has enough personnel. So I hope that they scheme this one offensively. I'm riding Purdy all the way. All the way to the bowl, baby.
I got you. All right. Let's talk about the game right here.
Yeah, I know we're on the same side right here.
I think this is the game. You think so?
I know we're on the same side, bro.
I wonder. Now I'm interested. All right. Of course, we're talking about the Chiefs and the Bengals. According to the Bengals, this game is being played at Burrowhead, Kansas City Stadium. The line is the Chiefs -1, and the total is at 48. Do a couple extra factuals before we jump into it really quick, real fast. The Bengals 13-3 ATS in their last 16 games, 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games, 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games against Kansas City, 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games against Kansas City, 5-0 ATS in the last 5 games when on the road, 8-0 straight up in the last 8 games against an opponent from the AFC conference. There's a lot of good stats right there. Now let's look at these Chiefs. 2-5 ATS in the last 7 games, but 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games, 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games at home, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 games against an opponent from the AFC, but 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games against an opponent from the AFC North Division, that Division Plus was just talking about. Total is going under in 11 of the last 14 games against Kansas City. Also gone under in 7 of the last 8 games when playing at home against Kansas City. Plus, you say we on the same side on this one, man. Well, let me know what side you're on, who you got in the Super Bowl representing the AFC. Let's go.
It's going to be a lock right here. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. We got Patrick Mahomes last week walking around like Kaiser Sose in that movie Usual Suspects. The limp is too real. He's not going to be able to play. You know how it goes. Like, I was just at the little coffee machine. A little bit of hot water went on me. I'm out for the rest of the week. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a 300-pound man just elbow drop my leg. So off the strength of that, and you can see the lines moving, you got to ask yourself a question. Why is this line 1 point? I mean, if we got a healthy Mahomes, what do we call it, in 3? And even if we're calling it 3, in my opinion, the 3 points is just a home field advantage. That's you basically telling me these two teams are equal strength, but because it's going to be in Kansas City, we'll say Kansas City by a field goal. But so now you're telling me it's 1 point. So we got to factor in that. Let's just say Patrick Mahomes is worth the 2 points. You're telling me that he's not healthy. And that's telling me that Cincinnati's got the better team in this situation. Now, in the wild card, I knew it was too much familiarity up against those Ravens. And in my opinion, you know, you got Lamar Jackson. That's a Ravens win. Homeboy tried to do his free throw dunk. Shout out to Tyler Huntley. We didn't need that. I don't know what you were thinking there. You must have saw it in your dream last night, or, you know, that old play football in the backyard, stretch out to get that one, whatever. Long story short, it was the longest return in NFL playoff history, and that's what got them into the game against the Bills. But the way they played the Bills in the winter, I had no doubt in my mind that this was not only like the best team in the AFC, but this was the best team in the league. You know what they say? They say that, like, to be the best, you got to beat the best. What Ric Flair say? To beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Beat the man.
Joe Burrow's been doing nothing but beating the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Every man you put in front of this guy, he beats him. And I want to even go as far back as to say, like, look at this guy's career. He's on record as saying, like, the window will always be open for this team as long as I play for it. Let's go back to, like, how he even got to where he was at. Justin Fields pretty much said, Georgia, you know what, man? If you're going to bench me, I'm going to Ohio State. And the starting role that Burrow literally waited for. How many quarterbacks were in front of him? I think it was like Pryor. I feel like every quarterback, Cardale Jones.
That's what I was going to say.
It was like 5 quarterbacks ahead of him.
Jones and somebody else though. Not Pryor. Pryor was way before, but it's
okay. So Pryor was before.
It's
Braxton Miller. Am I lying?
Miller. It was Braxton Miller.
Where are they now? You know, we got to do a little documentary on that one. You know what I'm saying? But this dude waited his turn and didn't get that starting spot because Justin Fields came through. What did he do? Went to LSU, got himself a natty. In the last 4 years, I mean, his rookie year, he went down with injury, but these last 4 years of Joe Burrow's life is nothing short of epic. At this point, he's not even beating the man anymore. He just is the man. And given all the weapons that he's got, where this line is at one point, Mahomes not looking healthy, I think they're going to steal another one, man. It's a Bengals lock for me.
I was right there with you. Until I looked at Mahomes' playoff numbers.
Oh, we on the same side. Don't do it to me, Marley. Come on, man.
And I know I feel like this is how I really feel. When they won that Bills game, I was like, all right, Mahomes is hurt. Got to be on the Bengals the way they playing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like all I keep hearing is like how Burrow beat Mahomes last year, and he keeps beating Mahomes, and he hasn't lost to Mahomes, and now it's Burrow head. And I feel like all of the public is going to be on Cincinnati, and I feel like he's hurt, right? He's banged up. He's not 100%. This has all the makings of like the script. Like the script is written right here. This is the script. It's right here. It's right there. He's gonna limp. I feel like Willis Reed limping out the tunnel. Michael Jordan flu game. Like this is it. The Patrick Mahomes sprained ankle game. He went out there on one leg and willed his team to victory.
Right.
And yes, if you look at Patrick Mahomes, you know his career, he's known to. What makes him great is the outside of the pocket, off balance throws. You know that it's going to limit him. That he's not going to be able to do. But I've seen this on Nick Wright's show, if I'm not mistaken. His inside the pocket numbers are just as good as his outside the pocket numbers. Question is going to be, can this Bengals line get to Patrick Mahomes and knock him out the game while they're going to test his ankle? How long can he hold up? I try not to forget that the Chiefs had that last game in Cincinnati won. If it wasn't for some like inexplicable fumble by Kelsey at the end of the game, that game was sealed. All these games have been close. And I hear you say Joe Burrow's the man. He's not quite the man yet because he doesn't have that hardware.
Right. You got to get a chip.
Now, in Patrick Mahomes' first 2 years as a starter, he got that chip. He lost to Brady this first year in the AFC Championship, and then the second year he came back, he got that chip. Now, Burrow, this is what, third year as a starter, or is this his second year as a full-time?
Third year, yeah.
As a starter, though, I know his first year he was hurt, so I don't want to.
First year he was his second year as a starter. Yeah, this is year 3 for him, right?
I think so.
Yeah, this year 3.
I think so. If you look at the numbers, though, I definitely remember seeing this on First Things First, Nick. Right? All I do is watch sports shit and listen to XM radio and listen.
You about this life. Yeah,
that's all I fucking do all day. I don't listen to no radio. I just listen to straight sports talk. And they were talking about the projected pack because we're caught in a moment, right? Where everybody's Joe Burrow, and what he's doing. You were just ran down the list. I don't want to take nothing away from Joe Burrow. Like he is the guy right now. You know, well, I won't call him the guy because the guy is still in Kansas City. That is still the guy. He has the hardware. He's been to 3-4 straight NFC.
5
straight.
5. AFC. Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing that LeBron thing.
4-1.
5 straight
in those games.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bet against Patrick Mahomes, even though he's banged up. I feel like these are the two best teams in the AFC, and I feel like this game can go either way. And I do get it; he's banged up, and that makes me want to take the Bengals. But I just feel like it's hard to beat a team twice in the league. That old NFL adage, it's hard to beat a team twice in the league. As you said, the Chiefs are due for a loss. The Bengals are due for a loss. They're on a 10-game winning streak. That can be said both ways. I do like, as I was saying about the Eagles, the Chiefs, when they spent their money on the offensive line, they have one of the better offensive lines in the league. So if they can protect Mahomes, keep him upright, I think we'll get old Andy Reid. We're not going to get pushing the ball downfield with Tyreek Hill. We're going to get the old screen games going, short throws, get the ball out of his hands quick is what I'm thinking we'll see. And I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to ride with the Chiefs on the money line. I just feel like it's just public is all over the Bengals. I feel like the storyline is just written, and I'm not betting against the kid because he's still until Burrow gets that hardware, which I think he probably will. But I just think right now the revenge factor. Everybody's talking about how Burrow is the man right now, how they beat the Chiefs last year, how it's Burrow head. That's a lot of bulletin board material. That shit. Eli motherfucking Apple of all people is talking shit. Like he is like the shutdown corner, lighting cigars after divisional championship games in the locker room.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just a lot of we don't really hear shit from the Chiefs. They just sitting back, quiet, getting ready for the game, and that kind of stuff. Just I don't know. I think they go come out a little bit more locked in, a little bit more focused. It's a lot less talking going on in Kansas City right now. So
Marley, I did want to speak on that because just last week too, we definitely should have linked up for them divisionals, man. But we'll make it happen regardless.
Yeah.
I was really feeling like, and it was kind of a part of my take that, Bengals be talking a lot of shit. Like they talk the shit like they're the ones with the hardware,
right?
But this is
like
that, and I thought it was time to humble them. Like they are going to be humbled, but it almost had like they give Muhammad Ali vibes. Like they talk their shit and they back it up. And people getting at me in the comments on the gram and stuff like that. Oh, I guess they showed you now. And sure enough, they did. Like they are not really willing to talk it unless they're gonna back it up. And that's the one thing that scares me about this. Like as you build confidence, as they start to talk all this, they know they gotta back it up. They know they can't just throw Burrowhead out there and not stand on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is gonna be a good one, man. I really thought we were gonna be on the same side on this one.
I wanted to, man. I was like I said, after that Bills game, I was like, all right, I'm probably gonna be on the Bengals. And then when Patrick Mahomes did the little conference, he showed he was all right. He wasn't really limping too bad. I'm just listening to talk radio all day, and everybody's just, Bengals. They beat the Chiefs. Big Burrow's the man, and it's a lot of Bengals talk. I wouldn't hear it. It's just scaring me. It scared me away from it, and I'm like, man, if Mahomes. Because my only thing is, if Mahomes wasn't hurt, right, Eagles win by 14. All right, I'll take it. I'm on first half, so
14.
We'll take it. Well, yeah.
All right. I mean this he
must
be live from Philly right now.
That's a little disrespectful though. But all right, Rashawn. I don't know if I said some SBO, but my guy, I see you.
SBO. Shout out SBO.
Yeah, man, it's just too much talk coming from goddamn Cincinnati. It's just bullet to board pursuit. But what I was saying was, I was saying this: if Patrick Mahomes wasn't hurt, everybody's 100% healthy. Who am I taking in this game? I'm definitely taking the Chiefs with the revenge factor at home. Focus team, focus Pat Mahomes. They're gonna want it. Not saying the Bengals aren't. but I still think they got to go through those growing pains too, though. They got to the Super Bowl. It was kind of a miracle ride. They still, like you said, they got to be humble. And one thing about out of all the major sports in America, the one sport that will humble your ass the most is the NFL.
Yeah.
This shit is hard to get to the Super Bowl. It's a lot of great all-time players that never sniffed it because, like, this shit is just difficult, you know. And I still think like Patrick Mahomes is that fucking guy.
I mean, he's the like let's be real. As far as the AFC is concerned, he's the final boss. Like he's who you get to at the end of the video game. Like he's that guy. He is King Koopa. You know what I'm saying? Bowser, whatever you want to call it. Like he is that guy. But just like how you said, to get to lose the Super Bowl last year and say, all right, we're gonna try to run it back with the same guys. Start out 0-3 and to get this far, I mean, they know what's at stake. I think like this, like I said, it's like real Muhammad Ali vibes. They get to talking to gas themselves up. And I don't know if you know this, Marley, before we tap out. Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to hear Patrick Mahomes like address the media about his injury? He seemed like very like, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna say it real fast, and like I don't want to take too many questions about it. Like I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah,
it didn't give off like I'm 100%.
What else was he going to get up there and say though? That's why I don't care about that. Even I feel like even if he couldn't walk, and it was obviously in the cast, I feel like he was still going to get up there and say, "Hey, I'm good. I'm 100%. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'll be straight on Saturday." Like, he's not going to get up there and tell us Bengals and other. I know. See, everybody's on the Bengals.
Yeah, hey, our game. We see you. Yeah,
everybody's on the Bengals. So I'm just like, what did you want him to get up there and say? You wanted him to get up to say, there's no chance in hell he was going to get up there and be like, I don't feel great. It's hurt, but hopefully come Sunday, when they shoot it up, I'll feel better. We're gonna try to give it a go. Like he's not.
No, but like hurt players, they really talk that shit. They'll be like, "Listen, I'm hurt, but it is the AFC Championship, and there's other guys on my team that are hurt, and we're gonna thug this thing through." And like whatever, he really tried to sell it. Like he tried to sell it.
I expect him to, and I still feel this. Like it didn't sway me one way or the other. They're gonna shoot that shit up. I probably should have went first. Got you. I don't know. Some kind of way I got muted or some kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm back though. It was too much to go back and retake. But yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to this championship weekend. I definitely thought we would have been on at least the same side for the AFC Championship, but I mean, I guess when we circle back for the Super Bowl episode, you know what I'm saying? We're really gonna get.
Yeah, hey, one way or the other. Hey, well, we can both cash on that 49ers game, because I'm only on the first half. So.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, yeah, so, I might run with that.
We both can rock that way. Quick recap, real quick. The homie Plus, he's on the 49ers money line and the Bengals money line. He has 49ers Bengals Super Bowl matchup. I like either matchup with either way it goes, honestly, in the Super Bowl. Me myself, I am on the first half. Philly money line and Chiefs money line. It is a great Super Bowl right there, and I don't care who wins that one at all. Plus, tell the people where they can find you at, my brother.
Hey, make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube. It's No Cap Bets, just like how it's spelled right below. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's official No Cap Bets. We take it on the football season, but right after that, we're going to probably break off into some college ball. I look to be back on that. We're going to do some college ball. We'll do some NBA. Definitely headed in towards playoffs. I got a lot of Raptors knowledge because I'm out here in Canada. And if you just want to follow me solo, it is at 100 plus Mo on IG, Twitter. Twitter for No Cap Bets is No Cap Bet That. Marley, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, brother.
For sure. Hey, shout out to that hoe ass nigga that hacked my Facebook today. Bitch ass.
Right? Yeah, we got to get his ass out in Nigeria somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in fucking Nigeria. Bitch ass. Y'all know what it is, man. Let me see. That right. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. That right there, that's the homie plus.
Yes, sir.
I am Marley Bets, and this is Brothas N Bets. And like yesterday, like today, and like tomorrow, y'all already know what it is, man. Let's beat Vegas.
Yes,
we
sir.
out this motherfucker.